from 8 News Now.
A new appreciation for the holidays. We meet a local family who have a new outlook on Christmas after getting hit hard by COVID-19. Plus, relief is still in limbo. An update on the stalled bill to send money to Americans struggling through the pandemic.
And tracking your Santa on Christmas Eve, plus looking at what your Christmas Day, how that's shaping up. Forecast in a few minutes.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, live at 11.
Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Bianca Holman. Families across the valley are finding new ways to celebrate the holiday in light of the coronavirus, including those directly impacted by it. Oracle Manna shares the story of one family, and they describe this as one Christmas miracle.
Christmas is always a time to spend with family, but amid COVID-19, loved ones are holding each other a little tighter this year. One Valley family tells me after battling the virus, they're just grateful they can celebrate the holiday.
We try to enjoy every moment because it's hard for a lot of people.
Martine Palomino is counting his blessings this Christmas. Martine, his wife Irene, and their 2 kids are now fully recovered after they all tested positive for COVID-19 about a month ago.
I feel kind of like a fever. I say, and my body starts to be, like achy body, like, chills.
Irene tells me things turned around just in time for the holidays, but there are some lingering effects.
And I still having a little coughing once in a while, but I think it's part of I'm not contagious anymore. We are healthy right now.
Like many Hispanic families in Las Vegas, Christmas is extremely important to Martine and Irene. They've decked their halls, making them merry and bright. They're even cooking up a Christmas turkey with classic Peruvian spices. And although this year isn't the large celebration it usually is, they're just happy they can enjoy this holiday together.
We're really blessing and thankful.
To them, it's a Christmas miracle. And as our community continues to combat the coronavirus, they have a message for all of us.
Keeping it strong, keep positive, help each other.
Martine also wants to encourage everyone to keep practicing the basics: hand washing, mask wearing, and social distancing. Reporting in Las Vegas, Oracle Manna, 8 News Now.
New tonight, the U.S. is now requiring air travelers from the U.K. to have a negative COVID test before coming here. This comes as a new strand of the virus causes a spike in cases overseas. Here at home, Nevada is reporting 45 more new deaths since Wednesday. Cases are up more than 2,200. Here in the Valley, 30 more people have died. Cases are up more than 1,800. Hospitalizations are down statewide, but the 2-week positivity rate is up slightly to nearly 20%. And a reminder, COVID testing site hours are changing this week because of the holiday. All the sites run by the county will be closed tomorrow. Then on Saturday, the site at Texas Station will reopen. And we have a list of all the locations as well as their hours on our website at 8newsnow.com. And new at 11, Stavros Anthony will not get a new election in the race for County Commission District seat. Court records show his petition was denied by a judge. Anthony lost a close race to Ross Miller. The winner was decided by just 15 votes. Pretty close there. And it's now for a time to check of the weather with Ashley Conroy, who's in the Accurate Now Weather Center.
Hey there, Bianca. Yeah, we had cloudy skies today. All day today it was also chilly, and those clouds are continuing overnight. So Santa, as he makes his way through here, he's going to have to break through those clouds. We'll take a look at Santa here in a second. Let's look at our current conditions. It's 42 outside. We're seeing very light breezes coming from the southwest at 4 miles per hour. We're actually 4 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday, but we're still chilly outside. So tomorrow, your Christmas morning, waking up, opening up presents, 45 degrees. We're warming up into those mid-50s tomorrow, possibly getting up into those upper 50s, maybe even 60 degrees depending on where you live. But right now we're forecasting a high of 59 degrees for your Christmas morning. So let's take a quick look at that Norad Tracker and see where Santa is. Let's see, he has delivered 6.6 billion gifts, and he's in Crane Brook, Canada, there in British Columbia, so over on the western side of Canada. Hey, so at least he's on the west coast, right, Bianca? So he's making his way slowly. Yeah, he's almost here, huh? Back to you.
All right, looks like there won't be much snow on Mount Charleston for the holidays, those wanting a white Christmas, but there are things to remember before heading up. If you're checking out Lee Canyon, buy passes online along with a parking reservation. You'll need to wear a mask at all times once you're up there. And as far as the rest of the mountain, pay attention to where you park or you could get fined and towed. Also, keep your pets on a leash and of course clean up after them. Finally, make sure trash ends up in the dumpsters or just take it with you when you leave. We got to respect Mother Nature. Now, the next COVID relief package is still in limbo tonight. This week, the president said he would not sign it into law. However, CBS News reports the legislation is being brought to him in Florida, where he's spending the Christmas holiday. Paula Reed has more on what's next.
House Republicans turned back a push by Democrats to increase stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000.
The House stands adjourned.
It was a rebuke.
I'm asking Congress to amend this bill
after the president threatened to veto the relief bill unless payments were raised. With millions of Americans in limbo, Democrats are pushing him.
Believe it or not, Democrats agree with the president, at least to the extent that we need to sign this bill now.
Even Republicans remain in the dark as to the president's next move.
The best way out of this is for the president to sign the bill, and I still hope that's what he decides to do.
The president was seen pulling into his Palm Beach golf club today, but otherwise laid low after unleashing fresh controversy last night when he announced a slew of new clemency actions, including a full pardon for his son-in-law Jared Kushner's father, Charles Kushner, who had pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in jail for preparing false tax returns and witness retaliation, including using a prostitute to blackmail his brother-in-law, a witness in the case. That case was prosecuted in the early 2000s by Trump ally Chris Christie.
It's one of the most loathsome, disgusting crimes that I prosecuted when I was U.S. attorney.
Mr. Trump also extended pardons to his former advisors, Roger Stone and Paul Manafort, both convicted on charges stemming from the special counsel investigation into Russian meddling. Of the more than 80 clemency actions the president has issued while in office, 58 were for people he knows personally, were done as a favor to an associate, or were granted for political benefit. But the president's choices were met with criticism, even from Republicans like Ben Sasse, who called the moves rotten to the core.
Once the stimulus bill is physically here in Florida, the president is able to sign it quickly if he wants to. But even with millions of Americans in limbo, the White House still refuses to say what the president will do. Paula Reed, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
In a tweet tonight, Nevada Representative Susie Lee says the House will vote for $2,000 payments on Monday. She's calling on everyone to step up and help struggling Americans with checks and extended unemployment benefits. And right now, federal unemployment benefits are set to expire this weekend unless that bill is signed. The state employment department says hundreds of Nevadans will lose out on money. Dieter officials say they were fully prepared to implement the relief bill, but now their hands are tied. The department says it's now virtually impossible to avoid a gap in benefits for Nevadans.
This isn't the only item being held up. Help with emergency food assistance, emergency rental assistance, another round of small business grants and loans, emergency efforts to stop people from becoming homeless. All are being held up while we as Nevadans are trying as hard as we can to prevent devastating outcomes for families.
Anyone receiving benefits from Nevada can still file weekly claims. Those applying for the PUA program will eventually get caught up on payments after the delay. The latest unemployment report from the department shows a slight drop this week. Initial claims are down by more than 11% compared to early December. However, continued claims increased by nearly 1,600. The PUA program saw a 70% drop in claims. And a heads up for anyone traveling through McCarran Airport tonight and tomorrow. Many of the concessions will have shorter hours because of the holiday. The airport urges travelers to pack some extra snacks before you leave, just in case. And some good news this Christmas Eve. We've gotten tons of calls about this. Our parent company, Nexstar Media Group, has reached an agreement with Dish Network. That means all the company's 164 local TV stations have been restored to the carrier's lineup, including 8 News Now. The deal also means Nexstar's cable network, WGN America, will be added to Sling TV early next year. And still ahead, the night before Christmas will be one to remember for one local gambler. Plus, it's the season of giving, and one woman is going above and beyond to make a difference for those who need it, including folks right here in Las Vegas. But first, a quick check of Santa and his reindeer. You know, Rudolph is reading the pack. He's all done on the East Coast and Midwest. And guess what? He's headed to Utah right now. So far, he's delivered more than 6 billion gifts.
At Sahara. You're watching 8 News Now live at 11.
A quick shout out to a big winner on Christmas Eve. Kevin hit a mega bucks progressive jackpot at the Suncoast Casino. Take a look at that big check. Pretty fat there. More than $15 million. Thanks to the Suncoast for sharing this photo on Twitter. And in the season of giving, we're learning something about the ex-wife of Amazon CEO. Mackenzie Scott's divorce made her one of the richest women in the world. Now, as Michael George explains, we know that she's also one of the most generous.
At the Borough of Manhattan Community College, the news came quietly, with no fanfare or publicity.
Quite honestly, I thought it was a prank. I thought it was, okay, maybe it's a, 50, maybe 75, maybe $100,000 donation. But when I was told that it was $30 million, I actually had a moment. I began to cry.
There were similar reactions around the country as Mackenzie Scott gave away more than $4 billion to 384 organizations. The ex-wife of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos said in a blog post she wanted to relieve both immediate suffering and long-term systemic inequities. This year alone, she's given away nearly $6 billion.
Why do you think she chose BMCC?
I think the data speaks for itself. Our students are determined, they're focused, they have grit.
Goodwill Industries of Michiana provides education training and job placement for its Indiana community. The mission received $10 million.
To have somebody who doesn't even know us, but to be able to take a look and see what we are doing, it's a validation.
$10 million also went to United Way in Sacramento, California.
It's going to mean that, children are going to have access to the tools they need to be successful in the classroom.
Charitable giving has surged during the pandemic, with many Americans donating generously to food banks and local charities. Scott says she's far from finished.
Thank you, Ms. Scott.
At the Borough of Manhattan Community College, students made a video to thank her for the donation.
Thank you, Mackenzie Scott.
Saying the gift will change their lives for years to come. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
United Way of Southern Nevada is one of the hundreds of organizations getting a boost thanks to Scott. The author and philanthropist donating $10 million, the largest gift ever for the nonprofit. It was the nonprofit's work during the pandemic that helped them stand out. As far as how the money will be used, leaders say they're working on a plan that will positively impact the community the most. Wow, that is so amazing. So glad that she's doing that. I know our United Way organization here, they help so many people over this summertime with, their rent payments and all that, utilities, and of course clothes and food, so much.
It's been a hard year for a lot of people. So when organizations can step up and do that, it's really amazing to hear and see. So
for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of gifts, right, we have Santa Claus coming to town. Before we get into our weather, nice live look there of the Strip, let's go ahead and check out our NORAD tracker. So we've had 6.7, isn't that unbelievable? We had 6.6 billion, now we got 6.7 billion. Back in Mexico, he was in British Columbia last time, now he's in Las Cruces, Mexico. New Mexico, I'm sorry about that. So he is in the United States. We'll see when he comes here to Las Vegas, but he's going to have to break through some clouds, and of course you can't see it in our view there, but there's been clouds all day today. There will be those clouds overnight. I'll talk more if we're going to see sunny skies or clouds tomorrow morning. So our high today was 48 degrees. We were actually supposed to be in those low 50s, so we didn't even break out of our 40-degree mark today. So we are definitely, you can see, almost 10 degrees below our normal high for this time of year. Some of our temperatures around the valley, we're seeing 29 up at Kyle Canyon. Frigid up there, at least for us here down in the valley. We're seeing lots of 40s everywhere, 37 Aliante. We're also seeing 38 at Nellis Air Force Base, so those colder 30s over on the north side of town. And again, mostly 40s throughout our valley. We're seeing lots of 40s and 30s throughout our region. We have 32 in Kingman. Freezing there, 39 in Boulder City, 42 in Mesquite, 35 in Pahrump, and 52 degrees in Laughlin. So almost a 20-degree difference from what we're seeing there in Pahrump. Okay, so we are going to have a sunny Christmas morning, so that's good. So as you're waking up to your presents, opening up your presents, kids want to head outside and play, we are going to have those sunny skies for tomorrow, but we have the evening rain chances. It looked almost like it could rain today and tonight, but we are not going to see any rain. We're seeing rain in Southern California rather, but we're going to see some rain chances making its way through here late Sunday night and going into Monday morning as well as Monday afternoon. You can kind of see where those showers were here in California. Kind of just dissipated, didn't really have a stronghold to make its way. It wasn't a strong enough system to make its way here to Las Vegas. So just lots of clouds, what we've seen today, clouds over our state. Again, we saw those nice temperatures today. It was chilly, and then we're going to see those sunny skies for tomorrow. And I want to take a look at this future cast so we can kind of pinpoint where we'll see not only the rain here going into Monday afternoon, early Monday morning, but also the snow showers. So we're going to definitely see some snow chances, the higher probability of that in the mountains versus those rain chances, what we're looking at. So let's take a look at what our extended forecast is. Of course, it's Christmas Eve. Christmas morning is tomorrow. We're going to see again those overnight showers, what we're looking at. Let's see, we get our graphic pulling up here. It's kind of sticking a little bit. There we go, Bianca. Monday showers, and then we're looking at mid-50s for the week. Back to you.
A new clicker is on the Christmas list. All right. Coming up in sports, there's still uncertainty on the Raiders roster. Head coach John Gruden says both quarterbacks are still in practice and a starter has yet to be picked. Plus, a full breakdown of the matchup against Miami. Hear how the Dolphins feel heading into Allegiant Stadium. Sports is next.
Silver State Schools Credit Union.
Derek practiced today, practiced yesterday, so did Mariota. We'll see what happens here tomorrow in terms of which way we go, but we'll have two quarterbacks prepared to play.
That was head coach John Gruden's update earlier today on who we can expect for the Raiders' home finale at Allegiant Stadium Saturday against the Dolphins. Obviously, still no definitive answer on whether it will be Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota. Carr still recovering from that significant groin injury that he suffered earlier in last Thursday's game against the Chargers, in which he did not return, with Mariota taking over the quarterbacking duties in the 30-27 overtime loss. Now today, Carr was a full participant for a second straight practice, with both him and Mariota getting equal reps. At the end of the day, Coach Gruden says they're going to do what's right and what's best for Carr and his health.
I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. I'm going to make sure he is okay. I'm going to make sure that physically he has a chance to wake up in the morning and go through his rehab one more day and do all the things that he needs to do against one of the top defenses that blitzes almost every play. So we gotta do what's right. Mariota, has also performed well. So, like I said, we'll have a quarterback under the center, and we're excited to play a really good football team.
So we may not know who the starter will be until game time on Saturday. And with more, let's head out to the newsroom with Molly Sullivan, who has a preview of this Week 16 matchup.
Welcome to Week 16 in the National Football League. Let's crunch the numbers, shall we, and get the record straight here. The Las Vegas Raiders have not been eliminated from a postseason berth. Knocked down, losing 4 of the last 5, but to say Las Vegas is knocked out would be inaccurate. The Raiders need to win out this season to reach the playoffs for the first time since 2016. The Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens must also lose out. Dolphins head coach Brian Flores was asked about his team's mindset. Pretty standard question here. there, but Flores replied, "Our playoff is this week against the Raiders." The Dolphins are coming off a 22-12 victory over the Patriots, which mathematically eliminated New England from the playoffs for the first time since 2008. Meanwhile, the Dolphins secured a winning season for the first time since 2016. As for the Raiders' quarterback situation, Derek Carr suffered a groin injury late in the first quarter of Thursday night's overtime loss to the Los Angeles Chargers and did not return. Carr had only missed 2 regular season games and 1 playoff game in 7 seasons. He's a gamer and has fought through injury before. Rookie season with his knee and in 2017 with his back. Carr said he will do everything he can to be on that field. "The best part of my game is my mind," Carr said, and that's still working. Now, if Carr cannot play, Marcus Mariota will get the start. After coming off the bench Thursday night with a fresh legs and no hesitation, he went 17 for 28, throwing 226 yards and a touchdown. Mariota also picked up 88 yards on the ground, the 4th most by a quarterback in franchise history, and ran for another touchdown that tied the score at 24 in the 4th quarter. Whoever's in the huddle, there's a lot riding on these final 2 games in terms of the direction of the franchise. Getting to 9-7 is everything for the Raiders right now. It all comes down to Saturday night at Allegiant Stadium. Molly Sullivan, 8 Sports Now.
All right, thank you, Molly. That does it for sports. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And we'll be right back after this break.
From 8 News Now. You're watching 8 News Now live at 11.
All right, let's check back in on St. Nick tonight. He and his team, with Rudolph leading the pack, has made it to the West Coast now. He was last seen in Cabo San Lucas, headed towards Ensenada, Mexico. Santa typically makes it here to Vegas just after midnight. Hopefully the kids are asleep right now. We hope you keep sending us your photos of your decorated homes to our Facebook page. We're continuing to showcase some of the best in southern Nevada. Take a look at this. Some pictures from the Leffler family up in this northwest part of the valley. Every single year they decorate both sides of their driveway and their garage with Santas, bears, and nutcrackers. Looking good. And be sure to join 8 News Now and Sunny 106.5 as we bring you a very sunny Christmas, a benefit special for Opportunity Village. Las Vegas headliners are raising money for the organization. Join Good Day Las Vegas, John Langler and Alex Backus, along with our friends at Sunny 106.5 for a very sunny Christmas. It airs again tomorrow, Christmas Day at noon. Perfect time as you open up gifts. And again at 6:30 p.m. here on 8 News Now. And that's all for us at 11. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is next. And as we say goodbye tonight, we leave you with a performance of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone.